Welcome to GH Soap Opera Today, your place for the latest drama, updates, and spoilers from General Hospital. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the action. Jack is dealt two devastating blows while Joss fights Cassius. Today on General Hospital, Broadway travels to Port Charles, Pascal threatens Lucas, Jack discovers many truths, and Joss finds himself in a terrifying predicament. As Jack desperately looks for the man Carly is sleeping with, she tells him to leave her bedroom. Who the hell is it, and how long is it? Carly orders him to turn around while grinning. When he does, he finds Valentine standing at the doorway aiming a gun. Jack believes Valentine tricked Carly into exacting retribution on him after picking his jaw off the ground. Jack is devastated and demands to know why she would seek out Valentine to harm him, but Valentine corrects him, saying, "She came to me." At last, Carly confesses to him that she is aware that he enlisted her daughter in the WSB. There is no turning back from harming her child, regardless of any other good he may have done. Jack stands up for himself, certain that Joss has no regrets. Jack threatens to accuse Carly with both harboring a fugitive and treason. In response, Valentine says that if Jack doesn't carry on as usual while defending Joss, he will turn him over to Double Agent Cullum, who would use him as a pawn and send him to Steinmauer. A defeated Jack tells Carly that Valentine will turn on her before departing. Nathan calls Joss Agent Jacks while holding her arm at her apartment. After a struggle, Cassius chokes her to death. Broadway's Michael James Scott first meets Curtis and Trina in Broadway comes to the Savoy Gio, followed by Chase and Brooklyn. When Gio introduces Portia as his mother, BLQ's anxiety over her accident subsides. If Gio wants to return to the city and perform, Michael offers to put him in touch. Emma disputes Joe's assumption that his friend was merely being courteous when Michael leaves to get ready for his performance. She urges him to accept the offer. The butler in the living room with a poker Pascal uses a fireplace poker to subtly threaten Lucas after seeing him spying on Windermere. Pascal goes to buy them drinks after Ava and Sidwell break up their violent exchange. Lucas clarifies that Pascal is punishing him for Marco's passing. Lucas describes how Christina wants to name the tennis courts at the LGBTQ+ center after Marco as Pascal pours wine. Sidwell accepts the idea despite the absurdity of a Corinthos paying tribute to his son. Pascal goes outside to answer a call from Cassius, who needs his assistance with Joss. Sidwell looks at Pascal in the foyer and nods at him. Then he recommends that he go to the Savoy with Ava and Lucas. A Friend Like Me. Michael's breezy performance of Aladdin's Friend Like Me is just in time for the Windermere group to arrive. A flirtatious Trina and Kai sneak back to her apartment while Sidwell calls to see whether everything was handled after the concert. However, Joss is imprisoned in the temporary flat where Anna was previously detained, and her roommate is nowhere to be found. Cassius frowns on the other side of the two-way mirror as she bangs on it. On General Hospital, Sonny informs Ethan that he is a problem. Rick requests that Elizabeth spend the weekend away. Justine questions whether Laura is asking her to bury something. Curtis believes he has located the other driver. And Tracy advises Brooklyn to bring herself in. Tuesday, May 5th. General Hospital spoilers. Weekend getaway offer. Buried crime. Leaked suspect. According to General Hospital teasers for Tuesday, May 5th, Curtis Ashford will divulge something significant to Jordan Ashford, and ADA Justine Turner will get an unexpected request. Here's what GH viewers may anticipate. Rick Lansing will also present Elizabeth Baldwin with a proposal. Ethan Lovett will share some information with Sonny Corinthos when they reunite. As he observed Rick chatting with Ava Jerome at the Metro Court Gardens, Ethan was suspicious and possibly reveal some problems with Rick's trust. Naturally, Sonny might bring up the fact that Rick doesn't trust Ethan either. When it comes to a new plan, Sonny will also view Ethan as an issue, which might involve Ethan's desire to test Rick. Regarding Rick, he will locate Elizabeth at the hospital and inquire about her desire to spend the weekend with him. Will Rick's amorous gesture be accepted by Liz? In any case, Liz will speak with Laura Collins on Tuesday's episode, and since she recently saw Rocco Falconeri in such a heated situation with Britt Westbourne, this may contain worries about him. Concerned about the potential difficulties Britt may have brought Rocco into, Elizabeth would encourage Laura to closely monitor her grandson. Liz might be about to figure out that Rocco shot Ross Cullum, but she might not share that information with Laura just yet. Ada Turner will be keen to track down the other motorist who left the scene of Jordan's collision. Curtis directed Ada Turner toward Isaiah Gannon, but Laura might caution her that Curtis' suspicions are motivated by his resentment of Isaiah. At some point, Ada Turner will question whether Laura is requesting that she put this case on hold. Laura might refrain from doing so, but she might believe that everyone should maintain composure and ensure that personal grudges are not an issue. Given that Ada Turner is Jordan's buddy, that also applies to her. Jordan will tell Curtis that she wishes they knew the identity of the other motorist once she leaves the hospital. Jordan will be taken aback by Curtis' admission that he believes Isaiah is to blame. Instead of establishing a family with Harrison Chase, Tracy Quartermaine will invite Brooklyn Quartermaine to turn herself in at the Quartermaine home if she wishes to perhaps face charges. Tracy will make that very apparent to Brooklyn and hope that she won't actually admit to being the other driver that evening because that's what's at risk. Additionally, Brooklyn and Chase will have a crucial conversation about their future, which might entail agreeing to adopt Phoebe if that becomes a reality. According to General Hospital spoilers, Brooklyn will keep battling guilt in the interim, so pay attention. General Hospital spoilers, Cullum plans Anna's absence? Valentine's priorities change? Updates and teasers for General Hospital hint at Valentine Cassidy's changing objectives after realizing Ross Cullum was mostly responsible for Anna Devane's suffering. As viewers will remember, Valentine lost it when he found out via Josslyn Jacks that Cullum was carrying a box of cigarillos and the crystalline conspiracy. Brennan is still a concern for Valentine, but Anna is more significant. Naturally, Valentine is still concerned about Jack Brennan's attempt to apprehend him as a fugitive, but now that Anna is more significant, he understands that Cullum is unclean. Even Brennan has come to the conclusion that Cullum is a dishonest double agent and that the mission the WSB ordered her on was a hoax. It is unlikely that Brennan and Valentine will cooperate to set Anna free, but you never know. Valentine has now included Nina Reeves in an attempt to trap Brennan. But don't worry, Anna is more essential, so that plan might just backfire. Cullum and Jen Sidwell had a tracker on Anna when she was in the French hospital. Every call that came in and went out of the hospital proved that Cullum's theories were correct. Unfortunately, she believes that Caesar Faison and his associates are in charge of the hospital. Carly Spencer was concerned about Valentine's medical call while posing as Kevin Collins because they were also keeping a watch on him in Dublin, Ireland. Cullum learned that Kevin had called from Port Charles, and as Carly had anticipated, Valentine's burner phone had been tracked. Even with WSB's cutting-edge equipment, all they can acquire at this stage is a triangulation, of course, but it's risky enough, which may be the true reason Brennan appears. Valentine targets Cullum when Carly's luck runs out in a forthcoming episode. Jack shows up in her bedroom. However, Cullum is now the actual issue since Valentine is so determined to save Anna that he will most likely make another escape. Maybe he'll hear the doorknob jiggle and hide beneath the covers, or he might climb out the window or take a deep dive under the bed. By some miracle, he might persuade Jack that Cullum is a double agent and the true adversary in this situation. However, saving Anna and returning her to her family is the most crucial thing. Will Jack and Valentine be able to confront and eliminate the unscrupulous director Cullum together? Cassius from General Hospital is already slipping as Nathan, and it's becoming more difficult to hide. When Joss begins making connections, Cassius disregards Britt's warning and suffers the consequences. When Nathan came up at Joss' apartment on General Hospital, she assumed he was merely attempting to schedule a workout. He grabbed her wrist as she attempted to slip out swiftly, claiming that she was going for a run, leaving viewers on a suspenseful cliffhanger. What started off as Cassius Faison's controlled impersonation of Nathan has changed, as he appears to have taken off his mask to prevent her from asking any further questions. Key takeaways: when Joss challenged Cassius with actual memories, his cover as Nathan began to crumble. He disregarded Britt's advice to avoid Joss and took the chance. Cassius indicates that he is ending the deed by seizing Joss' wrist. He now has to decide whether to negotiate his way out or expose himself even more. The tension is just increasing as Joss has had enough of questioning him. Cassius fights to tell the truth. Cassius did not enter the room thinking she was a ditzy college girl. The real Nathan hesitated, filled in the blanks, and hoped it would hold as Joss began to bring up details that should have been simple. That didn't take long to manifest. She brought up things like his past relationship with Maxie and certain instances where he had to reach for something rather than knowing it. The main clue is that hesitancy. Pretending to be someone involves more than just superficial details. It also involves minor recollections and things that others assume you are aware of without question. Cassius lacks that, and the moment someone pushes even a little, it becomes apparent. Britt could already see where this was going. She advised him to avoid Joss at all costs, to keep his distance, and to give her nothing to work with. Rather, he took the opposite action and positioned himself directly in front of her once more. Every interaction now bears danger because of that decision, which made an otherwise manageable situation precarious. That final move wasn't part of the plan. It was no longer covert when he gripped her wrist. He wasn't ducking questions or playing along. Instead, he intervened to prevent her from leaving. It doesn't seem controlled, and Nathan wouldn't do it in that circumstance. It sounds as though someone is responding. It also shows that he is more knowledgeable than he is admitting. He wasn't speculating when he told her that it was too late as he seized her. After learning that she was WSB, he made the decision to take action rather than retreat. Everything is altered by that, and it appears like the gloves are off. He now needs to choose a lane, and neither one is very neat. A far harsher version of whatever he's been doing thus far is possible if he leans into it and begins to completely abandon the act. Alternatively, he could intensify his efforts to persuade her to purchase time by talking his way out of it. In any case, he has already gone too far for this to return to something straightforward, and if he continues to prioritize emotion over self-control, things will only get worse before they get better. A terrifying threat, a deadly fight, jealous rage, and an exposed shooter. Dante Falconeri finds out who shot Ross Cullum while Josslyn Jacks is in grave danger. In addition, envious Jack Brennan launches an assault. Key takeaways: Dante discovers the truth about Cullum's shooter, with suspicions pointing to a shocking revelation. Josslyn is in grave danger because Cassius won't let her go. Cassius disregards Britt's warning, escalating a potentially fatal situation. Brennan confronts Carly in a jealous rage after finding signs of betrayal. Carly scurries to hide her tracks as her secret threatens to blow up. Cullum's shooter revealed to Dante will be shocked by what she has to tell him. Will Rocco Falconeri be exposed to his father? Elizabeth claims she believes she knows who it was. Elizabeth has seen Rocco look in Cullum's hospital room multiple times, and she just witnessed Britt Westbourne becoming rather aggressive with him outside. Additionally, last week, Cullum asked the chief nurse a number of frightening questions and informed her that he has his sights set on her son with Jason Morgan. Cullum is aware that Jason did not shoot Jake Weber, who is studying art abroad. Dante believes Jason is also acting as a stand-in. Josslyn's serious danger. Josslyn is in grave danger at the apartment she shares with Trina Robinson on the Quartermain property. He appeared at her door while she was attempting to contact Nathan West to continue their conversation. After his sister Britt exposed Josslyn as a WSB agent, Cassius Faison disregarded all of her instructions to avoid her. He tells her he can't let her go after grabbing her wrist. It appears as though Josslyn is going to attempt to strike Cassius in the face with a large statue. She should be aware that he isn't actually Nathan resurrected at this point, but will she recognize that he is a twin that nobody has ever discussed, or believe that the real Nathan has been brainwashed? Jack launches an attack out of jealousy. After breaking into Carly Spencer's home and discovering her nude in her bed, envious Jack attacks her, at least verbally. He yells, "How long, Carly?" like a furious bull. And who in the world is it? With Valentine Cassadine unable to be found, he went to question Josslyn's ex-husband, Sonny Corinthos, after discovering her in his hotel suite and learning that her mother was having an affair. He gave him some information about Jason after swiftly realizing that Carly wasn't having an affair with Sonny. Even though Carly appeared to be alone when he stormed into the bedroom, she responded to Jack's insistent question by saying, "Turn around," despite the fact that there were men's shed clothes. Is a Jack and Nina romance being set up on General Hospital? Threats and blackmail could be the start of a wonderful partnership. Carly and Jack from General Hospital are obviously over. After all is said and done, he and Nina might be able to work together. Key takeaways: Jack and Nina are all about threats and blackmail. They might become acquainted because of their similarities and Carly's liaison with Valentine. Carly and Nina share the same preferences for guys. Nina and Jack's relationship did not start off well. When she needed assistance for her daughter, she turned to him. Nina requested that the video of Willow driving on Drew's street the night he was shot be deleted by the WSB station chief. Nina should have realized that the favor Jack gave her wasn't free. Soon later, he went to the Crimson editor to ask for her assistance in finding Valentine, who had escaped. He requested that she ask Charlotte where her father was. In fact, she tried to talk to the adolescent, but Charlotte was too intelligent for her. Nina turned the tables on Jack when her remorse started to overwhelm her. She became astute and warned Jack that Carly would never forgive him for withholding evidence that would have vindicated Michael if he made the video public. He was completely stopped by that. Since Brennan found out about Carly's infidelity, things have changed. Sparks will finally fly when he turns to Nina. They are both cunning but not very wicked, so they would make a decent couple. They might be exactly what the other is searching for, even though neither Nina nor Jack are aware of it yet. Nina and Carly. Many people have observed a peculiar detail. Carly and Nina are in relationships with the same men all the time. Jax, the father of Josslyn, was briefly married to Carly. He started dating Nina after returning from Port Charles, that is, until Nixon Falls. When Nina visited the small village, she found Sonny, who was supposed to be dead, living and working there. She fell in love with him when he was still married to Carly, but she chose not to tell his family. And then there was Drew. Before the congressman turned evil, Carly had a relationship with him. He started sleeping with Nina after their breakup, but he was still in love with Willow. Valentine's turn now. He was previously much in love with Nina, but he repeatedly deceived her. He is currently living at Carly's house as a fugitive, and the two have developed feelings for one another. Do you think Jack will turn to Nina now that the truth is known? Tell us what you think. When Brennan confronts Valentine, Josslyn smashes Cassius's head. According to General Hospital spoilers for the May 4th to 7th weekly preview video, Jack Brennan will confront Valentine Cassadine, and Josslyn Jacks will be frantic to get out of her situation. In addition, Elizabeth Liz Baldwin is eager to give some gun intelligence, so let's examine all the drama that is about to unfold in Port Charles. Fans should prepare for some huge surprises as GH ushers in the first week of May sweeps. The ABC soap opera recently released its weekly video preview. A scene between Liz and Dante Falconeri in his Peace PD office opens the General Hospital teaser. Someone else got their hands on that gun, Dante tells Liz, to which Elizabeth responds, "I think I know who that was." Dante seemed genuinely taken aback by Elizabeth's response. Is this related to the gun that shot Ross Cullum, the director of the WSB? Fans remember that Liz treated Rocco Falconeri, Cullum's actual shooter, for a hand injury. Will Elizabeth figure out that Rocco fired a gun even if Liz wasn't informed? Liz can identify these kinds of things because she is a licensed nurse. May Sweeps is all about secrets coming to light, and since Dante is unaware of what Rocco did, something Lulu Spencer is keeping from him, Liz's information might be the catalyst for the whole thing. Josslyn and Cassius Faison, also known as Fake Nathan West, remain precisely where viewers left them off in the Friday, May 1st episode, according to the GH preview. Naturally, when Britt Westbourne revealed to her brother that the young blonde was a WSB agent, Cassius discovered throughout the show that Joss was much more than a ditzy sorority girl. Soon later, Cassius accosted Josslyn at her apartment and grabbed her arm at the end of Friday's performance. In the commercial video, Josslyn strikes Cassius in the head with a large statue after he tells her that he can't let her go. Will she be able to break free from Cassius's hold if she has to fight for her life? Thanks for watching GH Soap Opera today. For more General Hospital updates and spoilers, like, comment, subscribe, and press the bell icon. See you next time.